comes from executive producer Lilian Garcia. Every athlete is on this quest. Every performer dives in head first, battling real-life challenges and overcoming obstacles in an effort to make their dreams reality. Singer, songwriter, 15-year WWE host Lilian Garcia was the first woman to ever announce WrestleMania. And the first to launch her own podcast, which gives you an all-access pass to the human interest stories of elite athletes and extraordinary entertainers. Now, let's embark on another fascinating journey of chasing glory with your host, Lilian Garcia.
That's right, it's time for another episode of Chasing Glory. Okay, I know, I sound happy. I am happy. A lot has been going on, a lot. First, I gotta thank everybody who joined me last week on Crowdcast. It was my very, very first live stream, and it was fun. I had an intimate group. I wanted it that way so that I could bring everybody up to the screen one by one, and everybody asked me a bunch of questions. I asked them questions, and then we all got together up on the screen. Trust me, I know it's a little confusing, but it was a lot of fun. We had some trivia questions, and you guys know a lot about me. I was very surprised. I tried to stump them. Didn't work, but that's okay, because I gave away outfits that I wore in the ring. I gave away 8x10s and t-shirts. So thank you to those who did join me. I will forever remember that, and I will be looking to do that more in the future. Okay, so obviously I'm recording this before Monday because I want to make sure that you guys get this first thing on Mondays. So that means that I'm recording this before I actually sing for the New York Jets. If you're hearing it, technically, this is Monday. Therefore, I would have sang for the Jets yesterday. But because I'm recording this beforehand, it hasn't happened yet. So I'm hoping everything goes well. It is WWE Day at the Jets for Kids Day. So that's cool, with some WWE superstars there too. So just thank you to the Jets for inviting me again, for having me over. I'm broadcasting that my future that now you guys are hearing is the past, which is pretty darn cool, right? Ooh, how that works. I'm broadcasting that my future is going to be great. Yes, and a lot of fun. So thank you to the Jets. Okay, so what else? We got a lot going on. We've got Charlotte from last week. Whoa. Okay, that was a lot of fun, right? I told you guys it was a lot of fun in that interview. Her first interview was very, very heavy with me, and she really poured her heart out. And then this interview, we decided, you know what? Not really decided, we just kind of go with the flow. And it was a lot of fun. And when she said that she would love, just putting it out there, big dreams, right? She would love to have a Ben & Jerry's flavored ice cream, like Woolicious or Flairlicious or something with her name. Man, you guys had so much fun with that on social media. I'm so glad I put that out there because that was fun. And she even replied, she goes, oh my gosh, that Ben & Jerry's thing is really taking off. Like, yeah, now we just got to make sure that Ben & Jerry's is listening and definitely going to do a Woolicious or a Flairlicious Ben & Jerry's ice cream. That would be fun. Oh yeah, and Australia's happened by now too. God, so much has happened and I can't even talk about it. Because why? Because I'm in the past. Freaky. Okay, so today's show. Oh, before I get to that, don't forget, follow the show. Make sure you subscribe. Guys, when you subscribe, you get an alert when the episode goes up. So you'll be the first to know. Make sure that you review the show. Make sure that you continue that 5-star rating. Thank you for that. It means so much. And make sure you follow the show at Chasing Glory Podcast on Instagram. And of course, me, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Lilian Garcia and Lilian Garcia official fan page. I'm working on some new stuff too. Going to be fun. Okay, so today, if you guys followed at Chasing Glory Podcast, you know that today, because we announced it on Glory Friday, is the return of Paige. I love that girl. So awesome. What a fun interview. And it's fun, but there's parts of it that get very real. And I usually don't get heated. I'm not a person that gets mad about things. Well, then again, I do have a Latina side, so I'm not going to lie. You have to get me very mad though. But there was something that I actually got a little heated about here. And I think I had every right to. So Paige and I talk about it. And yeah, you guys are going to be, I don't know, surprised? I don't know if surprised. You're going to enjoy it. Okay, so without further ado, here is Paige's continued journey of chasing glory. Being born into the business cannot be truer for anybody more than Saraya Jade Beavis, who would later be known as Paige. While her mom was unknowingly 7 months pregnant with Paige, she would continue to wrestle, which would mean that Paige was taking bumps even before she was born. Since both her parents were professional wrestlers, the transition for Paige becoming a wrestler was easy, and at the age of 13, she officially made her pro debut working for her father's promotion. At the age of 18, she would make her way to the United States, where she would debut for the all-female promotion Shimmer, where she would be often on the same card as the future WWE superstars Becky Lynch, Bayley, Billie Kay, Asuka, and NXT trainer Sarah D'Amato. 4 months before turning 19 years old, Paige was signed to a developmental contract where she reported to FCW before it was rebranded months later to NXT. In the summer of 2013, Paige became the very first NXT Women's Champion by defeating Emma in the finals. Paige would make her surprise debut the day after WrestleMania 30 on Monday Night Raw, where she defeated AJ Lee to become the first and only person to ever simultaneously hold the NXT Women's title and the Divas Championship. After 2 years of highs, including being casted for multiple seasons of the hit reality show Total Divas, Paige's life and career would begin to spiral downward. Her personal life took a hit after a media scandal and would suffer a career-threatening neck injury, as well as being suspended by the WWE. During the time off, she would continuously work to get back in the ring, as well as fight her personal struggles. And after over a year of inactivity, Paige made her long-awaited comeback in November of 2017 to Monday Night Raw, where she would immediately cause havoc in the women's division. However, her comeback would be short-lived when her doctors advised her to retire after a major injury. But that didn't stop her from being a focal point in the WWE, as she was named the general manager for Smackdown Live. Outside the ring, she would make her film debut in the movie Santa's Little Helper, as well as providing a voiceover in the Scooby-Doo movie and Serves Up 2. In March of 2019, Paige's family story will soon be in the spotlight, with a movie being released entitled Fighting With My Family, which is being produced by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It's about to get real, raw, and inspiring with Paige. All right, guys, she's back. I'm so excited because the first one was so incredible, and now Paige is back on Chasing Glory. And as always, I know it's going to be awesome because you're awesome. How are you, honey?
I'm good. It's so good to be back on Hello. Honestly, like, we had such amazing feedback from the last one, because obviously you was the first podcast I ever did after like my crazy year and a half, like Britney Spears meltdown. So it felt really good. It felt really good to have like that therapeutic moment with you. So I was like, hell yeah, it's very good. So thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. Yeah. You know, it was so awesome that the next day you were just receiving such praise and such support from everyone, and just I'm talking thousands of tweets and messages, and social media went crazy. Yeah. Everyone just had your back. How did that feel? Because I know you were scared. You were scared for it to get out, but you were like, I have to get this all out.
Yeah, no, it felt really, really good, honestly. Like I said, it was like really therapeutic for me. So like being able to tell my story and my side and how I felt, and like people seeing it through my eyes.
Yeah.
So it was like a big relief. It was like a lot of weight off my shoulders. And like, once people saw it from my side, they're like, okay, like, this is great. Like, she deserves the world, you know, she's not a bad person. She had a rough couple of years, you know, so it felt really good. And I couldn't believe the support, dude. Like, it was wild. I was like, people like me. They really like me. It's crazy. Yeah.
I remember that was the first thing you were like, oh my God, Lil, they really like the interview. Oh my God, they're supporting me. I'm like, I knew they would. I knew they would, because that's the thing. When you're honest with people, yeah, when you tell them like the road that you've been on, and you're just genuinely also, you owned up to a lot of stuff. And that was the biggest, the best thing really that you could have done.
That's literally what you said. And that made me want to. I remember talking to you beforehand, and that you're like, if you own up to stuff, I'm sure people will respect you more.
Yeah.
And like be on your side more than you trying to hide behind stuff. And I'm like, you're so right. Like, of course, yeah. I'm gonna own up to my mistakes. It's my freaking mistakes. But that was actually thanks to you, because you were telling me like, hey, you should do it. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I should do it. You know?
Well, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. And you've had a hell of a year since then. It hasn't been exactly a year since we were on, but oh my God, it's been incredible 10 months. I'll tell you that.
I know. And yeah, and like there's a whole bunch going on. I mean, I had to start wrestling. I'm GM, and like I opened up a store, and like, you know, it's like, there's a bunch of madness. I have makeup coming out now. Like, what in the world is going on? Yeah.
Oh my God.
I have makeup coming out.
That's incredible.
Yeah, So I have a makeup line coming out, which is just on the Straya store, and that'll be out at the end of the year. And then we're going to be doing something with Hot Topic makeup as well, which comes out in January.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so there's like 2 lots of makeup. So it's a bunch of lipsticks, a bunch of highlighters, a bunch of eyeshadows. So it's really freaking cool. It's super cool. So I'm pumped.
Yeah, but that makes sense though, because you are just, you wear the makeup so well and you have fun with it.
I wear a lot of makeup. Yeah, I love it. I love makeup.
I know. It's almost like when Kat Von D released her line, it was like, yep, that makes sense. You know, so
yeah, exactly.
Totally see it. Oh my God, that's a great. Oh man, and your store. Before we get into everything else, tell me about your store. It was so awesome to go and support you and the opening, and I appreciate you actually inviting me in Anaheim there, and it was great with the other girls and all. How's that going?
I was surprised though. I was so surprised that you actually came though, because I know you're going to be busy. I know you're doing people's podcasts and stuff like that. You know,
what?
So when you walked in, I remember seeing you and being like, Lilian! Like I was like so pumped. Remember? I was like, holy shit.
Yes.
So I was super pumped. But
what would I do without supporting you? Seriously, because you've been great to me even when we were working together. So it's been awesome.
Yeah. You've always been amazing. Yeah. So it went really well. The store, like obviously we had like a brick and mortar store in Anaheim, but we also have the online store. I like doing the online thing because nowadays people don't like to go out shopping. You know what I mean? Like people want to do the online shopping. So we did that, and then we just brought out this completely new line, which is the Heartbreak collection.
Oh wow!
And then the makeup, the makeup is going to be called the Ultimate Breakup Makeup, because what's more relatable than getting your heart broken?
Yeah,
you know.
Well, you've kind of known a thing or two about that the hard way.
I know.
But now you're turning it into a line, so that's good. You know?
I know, exactly. It's just like, it's
silver lining.
It's worthwhile if you put it on some clothes. Yeah, it's a silver lining. You get your heart broken, you put it on some clothes, make some money. Yeah.
So tell me something.
Yeah, so that's going really well. I'm super pumped. Yeah.
So this year, all right. So last time when we talked, you had not found out yet that you actually couldn't wrestle. You were coming back from the injury. You had just had your first match with Sasha. Right after that, we recorded our session. And then it wasn't until later that you had the injury and then you found out the news. How's it been for you since? Because the women's evolution has taken off so much. And with all the first Royal Rumble, the ladder match, of this, of that, now the first women's ever pay-per-view. I mean, I see you as a general manager. You're killing it, by the way. You're absolutely killing it.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we'll talk further about that.
Thank you, babe.
But how does it feel to continue to see these, these superstars, these female superstars just having their opportunity of their first, and you're not able to because of the injury?
It makes me really sad, obviously, because, I love wrestling. Wrestling's been in my blood. It's been my life. Completely. So it does make me really sad, but at the same time, like I can't help but be happy for everybody, because I'm like, you know what, I still get to be a part of it. Yeah. Whether I'll be on commentary, whether I'll be doing just the GM stuff, I get to watch it, and I know that it was me and a few others that helped kickstart this whole thing in the first place, Yeah. So I'm happy, but like, you know, it's kind of a bittersweet thing. But there's nothing I can do about it. I can't get back in the ring, so why do I dwell on it? Why do I have to be sad constantly? I have to constantly be positive, you know?
So what has helped you get through that, though? Because, Paige, if somebody told me that I could never sing again, I don't know how I would handle it. And so for anybody out there that has a dream that they get told, I mean, there's many football players that's their dream, and then they get injured and told you can't ever, you know, play again. Or like I said, musicians, I know some musicians that play guitar and then something happens to their hand. What do you say to them, to me, or to anybody out there that would have that and, you know, could get through it?
You just, honestly, it's just trying to be as strong as you possibly can, because at the same time, you can't change anything. You have something like taken away from you without, or like kind of forced on you, right? Like it's something that you just can't do it anymore. You're not allowed to do it anymore because you'll get hurt, you do this, you do that, or it cause you trouble. So it's really hard because everyone reacts differently. I know I was really freaking upset about it, and I cried every single day. But in my head, all I was thinking about is like, okay, if I can't do this, what can I do next? You know? Mm-hmm. Like I can't just sit here and be sad and be like, okay, like I say, dwell on something that I can't change. So I'm just like, okay, I need to set more different goals, which is the same as what I told you before, what Dwayne told me, The Rock, right? Yeah. He was like, stay humble and hungry, because you always want to set goals. Like you always want to be humble because you want people to work with you, but you always have to be hungry. You always have to set goals. You can't be complacent. So if I just sit here and be like, well, I can't wrestle anymore, so what am I going to do? Like, who cares? No, I'm like, okay, like this is taking me down a different path. And so you just have to think about it. Yeah. It's taking me down a different path. If I become GM, great. Now this is opening a different avenue to different stuff. You know, like it's not the end of the book. It's just a different chapter now. Like that's how I always have to think about it. Right. So as much as like it's really hard to say than do. You know, I could preach to people who's going through the same thing and be like, just set different goals and like figure out what you're going to do in the long run. You know, but it's hard. It's hard to do. It's hard to do. Like I don't know why I'd say to you, Lil, I feel like, well, I messed up my vocal cords. Now I can't sing anymore. I would be like, well, yeah, I can't tell you like to stop feeling how you're feeling. It's like really hard. It's really hard to tell people what to do. Yeah. But that's all I did. I was just like, okay, I'm just going to set some goals and I'm just going to start chasing something else, you know? And other stuff that I love, you know, just. Yeah, I think that you can also say, because of what you shared too, that it's okay to grieve for a while. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? I kind of got time to do that before my retirement speech, right? So obviously I got told, so I hurt my neck, and then I wasn't allowed to tell anyone straight away because they were like, we'll just see we need to see what we're going to do creatively, and we don't make sure that you're okay, and like, you just get some rest. You know, they want to just take care of me. So they're just like, we'll just keep everything quiet right now, which is on my request too. I just didn't want it to be out there. Yeah. So I found out so I got the kick. Wasn't Sasha's fault. My neck wasn't as strong as it was before, and I was the one who called that move in the first place. So I end up getting complete paralysis in my body, right? Temporary paralysis. Right. So I'm laying in the ring, and I could feel it. I just knew it. Laying there, I was like, this is it. I can't wrestle anymore, and I felt it. I already knew. I was like, I had never had that, like literally, in both my arms, in both my legs. Like I couldn't feel anything, nothing at all. And I just laid there, and I was like, I'm not in pain. I'm just so upset that I just started crying. And I remember the trainer was there, and Jamie Noble was there, and I looked over at Jamie, and I was just like, this is it. Oh, wow. Like, I'm done. Wow. And I was so sad. And then they were like, we brought a stretcher, and I was just like, please, I don't want to go on a stretcher. Because I was like, if this is going to be my last match ever, I want to go out walking, you know? So, yeah. So I was there for like 5 minutes in the ring. It felt like eternity, but it was there 5 minutes. And then I started again feeling back, and then the doc lifted me up, and he was like, you get to walk. And I was like, absolutely. So I go backstage. Sasha was there the whole time, and all the girls were crying, bless their hearts. But yeah, like the doc was really cool about it. They were like, it could be anything. It could be just a stinger. It could be this, could be that. But we have to make sure you're okay. So we're going to send you home. We're going to get you x-rays. We're going to get you MRIs. So I did that. And then I got the TVs the next week, and they were Dr. Amon of all people. He's just like, I want to be honest with you. It doesn't look good. I don't want you to get your hopes up. It's just, it doesn't look good on your MRI or on your x-ray. And I was just like, I know, I feel it. I know, I know my body. Like, I know that was it.
Yeah.
But it still hurts to hear, you know? So I start crying to him, and it's like, this is it for me. Like, and then they were like, okay, you got to go to Pittsburgh and go see Dr. Maroon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay. So I go see Dr. Maroon, and he was very cool about it. He was just like, look, your spinal cord pretty much had the same impact as a severe car crash, right?
Wow.
So around your spinal cord, you have that fluid, and there's no fluid around the top and the bottom of where I already had my forehead. So he was like, if you get one more kick, one more whatever, you will be permanently paralyzed. You were very lucky you got paralyzed in the ring that moment. God. He was like, you're extremely lucky. I don't know how you're not paralyzed right now. He was like, you have two options, but they both end the same. Pretty much you can retire right now, or you can have another surgery where we take out the three screws, the fusion that you had. We'll put in some in your neck, and you'll have more time out, but ultimately you'll be retiring too.
Mm.
So he was like, I'm going to give you the option. He was like, that I will not allow you to be back in the ring again.
Wow.
So I was obviously like, I kept my stuff together there, and I was just like, okay, thank you very much. And I kind of just like walked outside.
Yeah.
And then I just called my mom and dad, and I just broke down. I couldn't stop sobbing. I was sobbing.
Yeah.
Everything I knew for my entire life, like literally for 26 years, all I've known is wrestling.
Yeah.
And for it to be like ripped out of my hand just like that, and it's no one's fault. It's just what it comes with the business sometimes, you know, like spinal stenosis, like Edge and Stone Cold, when it happens.
Right.
It happens, but for it to be cut short, it's devastating.
Yeah.
It's horrible. And I actually remember like someone to my mom and dad, and my dad was just crying, and he's just like, everything's going to be okay, sweetheart. You're going to do bigger things now. Don't worry. This isn't the end of your story. And I was like, thank you, Dad. I cried. And I back the same day, and I was just devastated. And Hunter called me just to make sure I was okay. I got to work, and Vince just gave me like the big hug, and he was just like, we'll look after you. We just want you to look after yourself first, you know?
Yeah. They
and
really
I was like,
have
thank
been
you
like
so much.
family.
And then obviously I didn't know anything. Oh, wow, yeah. Like I grew up in this business. Like this is my life. I came here when I was 18 years old. I'm 26 now. You know what I mean? Like I grew up here. This is what I've known. So I was really upset, but everyone was so supportive that it was hard to be upset all the time because everyone just kept keeping me upbeat and keeping me smiling, and you know. So months passed, and I remember just being like, "Hey, like I know I can't wrestle anymore, but like, man, I would love to be back on Total Divas." But they were like, "We're going to give you back Total Divas. Don't worry. Like we want you back on the show." And I was like,
"Oh,
great."
that's awesome.
And then they were just like, and then Mania come along, and so we had all those months, like from January up until April, to really like think about it and be like, okay, Rhea, like this isn't the end. It's devastating. The first month and a half, like you're crying your eyes out, but you have to get your butt back into gear again, you know?
Yeah.
Like don't let this stop you from fulfilling what you like all your goals, you know? So I remember getting to WrestleMania and I lost my voice. There's always a thing where I lose my voice when I'm about to do something big. So when I debut, I lose my voice. When I first came back again, I lost my voice. And then at this point, I get to I commentate for WrestleMania for the first ever Women's Battle Royal, right?
Yes.
And so I came back, and they were just like, "Oh, what's going on with your voice?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's just been a long week. I had to do media and all that kind of stuff, and my voice just breaks. Like if I'm talking too much, which is I talk a lot, so obviously my voice breaks a lot." But Vince was just like, "You have to do something big tomorrow, so please rest your voice." Because everyone goes to the WrestleMania after party, you know.
Yes.
You know it, Lil. Everyone goes there.
Yes.
I was just like, I didn't go this year because I was like, I need to rest. I know this is coming tomorrow. I need to be emotionally ready to be there too.
Did you know what you were going to do the next day?
So I knew what it was. Because I said to them too, I was like, look, I debuted at WrestleMania New Orleans. I would love to retire at WrestleMania New Orleans, right? Just full circle.
Wow. Yeah.
And you know, they listened, which I was really thankful for, because not a lot of women get to do their retirement speech.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the ring. And now, like, WWE has just, like, completely thrown all the women into the spotlight, which I love. They're giving us opportunities to do that. So for them to give me that opportunity in the ring, like, how cool is that?
Yeah, no, that was a beautiful moment.
Oh, I was like so thankful. And I was like, this is it. I'm done. Like, that's it. And I was trying to walk back to the cut. And I remember Edge saying, like, I promise you, you're going to feel really sad beforehand, but like there's going to be a lot of weight off your shoulders now when you come back. And you're going to feel so much better. And I was like, I literally stepped through the curtain and I just felt like this relief, like, okay, I did it.
Wow.
Now what?
Yeah.
Now what?
Now, my question is...
I felt a lot of relief.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. I was just going to say, did you know that you were going to be... Because, okay, you gave your retirement speech. Everyone reached out to you, including myself, where I was like, oh my God, I didn't know this was coming. So, I love you and I'll support your next chapter. And then the next night you show up at Smackdown as the GM. I'm like, what? Talk about
I didn't know.
You didn't?
No, I didn't know. Like, that's the thing. You know how, they like to keep things kayfabe. They like to keep secrets in because, like, a lot of people can leak that stuff out and they would like to get surprises, especially after WrestleMania, So they Road Dogg and all the writers came up to me and they're like, hey, we're going to need you to come to SmackDown tomorrow. And I was like, why? They were like, we can't tell you. I'm like, okay. Because I was like already upset. I was like, just please let me go home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll be there tomorrow. So all my friends had left by then because they were only there for Raw on Monday because I didn't know I was going to be going on Tuesday.
Right.
So Tuesday came along and I'm like sitting in the seats in the arena, just chilling out, talking to my mom and dad, and the writers and Road Dogg all kind of like surround me, and I'm like, hey, they're like, hey, here's your script for tonight. You're in seg 1. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, you're going to be SmackDown general manager now. And I was like, what? So you know how it is back there.
Yeah.
And they give you stuff last minute, and you're just like, oh my God, like I have to remember these scripts now. This is crazy. I was like, okay, got it. And like the one person made me feel so comfortable was Shane McMahon.
Oh.
He was like, don't worry, I'm going to be with you every step of the way. He was just so amazing the first 2 weeks. And then he kind of bowed out for a hot second, to give me time to really solidify myself as a general manager a little bit,
Yeah.
And he was just absolutely fantastic. The only thing is different now, obviously I don't have to take the bumps, but I have to remember so much.
Yeah.
They give you like 5 different scripts and you're like, oh my goodness, how am I going to remember all this kind of stuff? But you do it. You do it. Like once you get like kind of thrust into it, it's like, you're in live here, going live here, going live here. You're running around everywhere in heels. I was just like, all right, yeah, I got it. But every week is like a challenge, which I love. Like it's more of a challenge now.
It's a different challenge.
Just like what? Yeah, exactly. So like with the wrestling side of things, we'd do our match, which I loved, and then like we'd have maybe one pre-tape if that, But now it's like it's great because I get to work with the girls and the guys. So like that's what the challenge is to like now be mixed in with like everybody, which is great.
Yeah. I remember Kurt Angle even saying at one time when I was seeing his scripts back in catering, and I was like, oh my God, this is a lot to remember. And he looked at me and goes, tell me about it. This is not easy. Yeah. It's just because it's all same day.
Yeah, exactly. Same day, 5 different long scripts. Gets changed all the time. You know how it changes. And so you finally get the script in your head and they're like, okay, we changed this part. Okay, now we have to replace that part. And now we're trying to remember this line. Okay, but now we change it to this. You know what? Now we're going to take this one away. We're just going to give you this one. Instead, you're like, oh, okay, I can remember this. And I really do love it. Like, I love, like, the thrill of, like, the unknown. Like, how am I going to do it? Like,
Right.
Once you actually accomplish it and you get through it, you give yourself a pat on the back and then you're, like, drained the rest of the night. You're like, I just want to go to bed.
I bet, because, wow, what a challenge. But you know what? That is why so many times when anybody from the WWE goes to Hollywood and they have to do some kind of, movie, script, anything, the producers, directors, all of them are in awe that it's all done in one take. Like, I remember Stone Cold saying he was on set one time of, I think it was some USA network show that he was doing, and he got it in one take. And the director looked at him like, how'd you do that? And he goes, well, because we're on live TV. Like, we have to do everything in one take. So
right, and that's what happened too. Like with I did the movie Santa's Little Helper, right? I never did like a movie before unless it was like animated movies, right?
Yeah.
So I did this the first time doing it, and the director was just like, "You've never acted before." We had to have like a dinner, like the day before, everyone, all the cast and the crew and stuff. So I was like, "No," and like he was freaking out, right?
Yeah, I bet.
And so like one of the producers from WWE Studios was like, "Trust me, she's in the WWE. She's gonna be fine," right? So it turned out like he ended up adding extra scenes to me in the movie, the ones that wasn't even supposed to be there. He just goes, "Hey, we're going to add this scene right now. Say this. And I was like, got it. I went in and did it. And it was me and Miz.
Wow.
And we did it in the first take.
Yep.
And he was just like, oh my God. He was just like, you wrestlers. I was like, I know. I was like, this is what we do. Like, we have to be quick on our feet. And then you know what? If we don't know exactly what we're supposed to be saying, we know what message we're supposed to get across.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
I know.
Give it to us in bullet points. We'll get it across.
That's why I'm so happy now that, you know, The Rock actually, he definitely broke a lot of ground for everyone else to come, you know, and get not just parts that were wrestler parts, because Hulk Hogan did things in the past and all that, but there was still some stigma around wrestlers where now it's like, oh no, these are real actors. These are real actors, which is so good. So that's
exactly. Awesome. Yeah. Like they're taken more seriously now.
Yeah.
As actors because of Dwayne. Yeah. And it's great.
So before I move on, I wanted to ask, because you brought up Sasha. I think she still to this day gets blamed for everything that happened. And I just would love to hear from your end.
Yeah. Accidents happen. It's kind of the same as like what happened to Brie and Liv Morgan this week. It's accidents happen in the ring. Like, I'm not going to hold Sasha accountable for what happened to me. Like, it is what it is, and like we put ourselves, like we've been all doing it for years, and if we like at one point or another, one of us is gonna hurt each other. We can't be perfect all the time,
right?
Which is the same thing of what I get with Brie. Like, I feel so bad for Brie. Like, she's never hurt anyone. This is the first time she hurt someone, and she gets blamed for it.
Right?
Come on, dude. Like, it's an accident. It's an accident. Liv doesn't blame her.
Right.
You know.
Right.
The thing that I didn't like about it is the fact that her teammate brought her back in the ring to do a suplex when everyone knew she was knocked out. That's the thing that I didn't like.
Right. I think that's the thing that everyone's talking about.
Right. It's just like, don't come back in for the suplex. You know you're hurt. We have concussion meetings all the time. Take care of yourself. But also, your tag partners, as much as I love them, they're very sweet girls. They know she got knocked out. You don't let her back in the ring again.
Yeah.
That's what Sasha did with me. As soon as she knew something was messed up, she was like, I'm not continuing the match. That's a professional, right?
You're right.
She's like, I can't do this. And I was trying to continue it, and I was trying, and she was like, stop. You're going to hurt yourself even more. And I get where Liv is coming from. She wants to continue, but stop. It's not worth it. You can end up like me. But with Ruby and Sarah, take care of your teammate. You see that she got hurt. Don't let her back in the ring again. Referee in there. Don't let her back in the ring again. Yeah. But apparently the ref didn't know anything. I'm like, come on. How do you not know? But like Brie and that saw it, and they were trying to take care of her, you know?
Yeah.
It was like, I felt so bad for Brie. I felt bad for both of them, but like the backlash that Brie got, if it was anyone else, that wouldn't be that much backlash, you know?
Yeah, why do you think?
It's because she's a Bella.
Oh. Yeah,
I don't know, you know, it's because they come from, like, people have such a bad stigma when it comes to the diva name, and I hate that. I'm like, without the divas, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
You know, I was a diva. I loved it. When you think of diva, you think of WWE, and when you think of WWE, that's when you think about your passion and your dream, right?
Yeah.
So I hate that. I hate that stigma. So they just crossing the Bellas as being in the diva realm, right? But they've worked their butts off so hard to keep up with the rest of the girls. They do not stop, and I think they're fantastic. But people have just kept them in that. They typecast them as divas, and they don't even give them a chance. And I hate that.
Well, I think the other thing too is because they're successful, and it's funny because people love to support people, but then when they get to a certain type of success, all of a sudden jealousy comes in, and all of a sudden it's like, you've got too much, you're too successful. Oh, everything's perfect for you. And I think that's the thing that's going on with the Bellas right now, is that people look at them and they go, yeah, you've got this and Birdie B and the wine, and we know, and instead it's like, oh my God, they've busted their asses to get that.
Right, exactly. They weren't just handed this stuff. They had to fight, and they had to do it. They had to work hard. They're self-made women.
Yes.
And I applaud them every time I see them. I just think you're so empowering and you're so inspirational to me. I want to be just like them.
I know.
I think they're great. But it just makes me so sad to see. I'm just like, cut them some slack, you guys. They're working really hard.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that people are hearing this now and kind of getting the perspective of where we're coming from on the other end, right? Working with them, knowing their work ethic. Also, don't be hating on people that are successful. Work just as hard as everyone else. You know what I mean? Like, don't be hating on people that are successful.
Exactly. Yeah, you can be just as successful if you put the work into it. Like, come on, there's blood, sweat, and tears that went into everything you do. Like, your podcast had to be built up to be this successful, right? You have to work hard. You have to do what you have to do to get your, yeah, exactly. But like, people just think, like people don't think that you work, like we work hard to get what we do. Like, no, we have to work hard. People need to take us seriously, especially you're coming from the diva era too. People have to take you seriously as a podcaster too, as a host of a podcast, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But they see how great you are at doing it and how successful, and it's such a big entity now. It's like very successful.
Thank you.
And that's great because you worked hard. You were self-made.
Thank you.
Same with the Bellas. Like, we're all kind of in the same bracket. Yeah, absolutely. And it's not blowing smoke. It's just, it's true. It's factual. Like, you have to work your freaking butt.
Yeah, and especially because, it is, it's still a big man's world. And so it is nice that the women are getting recognized. I love that. And I've always said, though, on the flip side, it's not all, hey, all the women are great, or, hey, it's all about the women. No, because I love men. And I think I just love that it's getting to be more equal, where it's both of them are being praised. And not just one small entity of women are represented in the show, that it's a nice mix. Because I remember many Monday Night Raws, many Smackdowns, and many pay-per-views that had 0 women. That literally I was so many times the only woman that was in the entire show because I was the host of the show. That was it. That was the only representation. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm the only female that came out the entire night. And I remember that. And so now it's just nice that that's not the fact.
Yeah, and especially on SmackDown too. Like, SmackDown, I feel like is more of a women's show. Like, we have a lot of female matches on there. We can have 3 matches, backstages. We're opening the show. We're closing the show.
Yeah.
It's great. Like, I love it. But there's always some kind of female involved in nearly every segment on SmackDown.
And the fans are loving it.
Fantastic. Like, WWE is. Oh yeah. SmackDown's like doing fantastic, which I love.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of my brand that I'm on. Like, I feel like it's kind of like my baby now that I'm like a fake boss on there. But it feels good. I love it.
Yeah. What are you feeling about?
I wish Nia was over.
Oh, yeah. I remember you talking about her.
I love Nia.
Yeah. You only get to see her like 4 times a year, right?
Yeah, but luckily she lives right down the street from me. So
good.
She's always traveling so much because she's doing so much charity work, and then she goes and does galas, and she goes and supports plus size male and female. She's doing such good things, and she's getting awards. She's busy doing that thing, which I love. But I get to see her. I get to see her whenever we're home together, or when we're filming Total Divas, we're kind of forced to hang out at that point.
Yeah. So, talk to me about that. So how's it been to be back on the show?
It feels really, really good. It just felt natural to be back on there. And I just love being around the girls. You have such a good crew this season too. And there's some explosive parts. I can't wait for you to see the episode where me and Lana explode on each other.
Uh-oh.
That was out of control. Out of control. I just remember screaming at her, being I hate your guts. literally, I can't wait for this season. Just feels really good because I'm telling my story there too.
Yeah.
And they get to see me, like, not just like hear my voice, but they get to see my face and see how hurt I was by everything the last year and a half, or how much I love their support, or how much being injured really broke me, you know? And then you get to see me have arguments with Lana again. And then and then you get to see us do some really wonderful stuff too. Like, I'm so excited for this season. Like, honestly, like, obviously 2 episodes gone past right now, but, I'm excited for everyone to tune into the next episode.
Can you give us a little lead in as to why you had so much heat with Lana?
Well, the thing is, like, I'm one of those people that's like, don't try and get a storyline. Don't go into business for yourself and go on the internet and talk crap and pretty much like, try and get a storyline through that without my permission, right? So it was like every tweet, and I could never really forgive her. And I feel like I'm very petty for doing that. I'm very like that. I was being very petty, but she said that I bullied her. She tweeted out all this long tweet about me bullying her at FCW not FCW, sorry, NXT. And people just looked at me like I was horrible, like a horrible bully. And I'm like, I'm not like that at all. So I was like mad about it. I was like, what are you thinking? Like, why are you tweeting like I was mean to you and that I bullied? Like, I don't understand. She's like, well, I just like a storyline. I'm like, you can't just do that.
Right. Right, because it's your reputation on the line.
Yeah. Right, exactly. I was like, you have to ask me before.
Did you get it all worked out, or is this all part of the show?
No, we got it all worked out. It was all good. You would see in that episode.
Okay.
You can see it was in Lake Tahoe. And, like, we walk in, and I don't want to tell you everything, but it's in Lake Tahoe, and I lose a little bit. But at the same time, like, I'm at a stage in my life where I'm maybe a little bit overly defensive just because of what I've been through for the past year and a half.
Yeah.
So Lana has kind of been, like, a long time coming with her, and I felt like we needed that to really get over the speed bump that we had in between us,
So did it bring you closer?
It did. Honestly, it really did. Like, I look at, like, we're friends now. We are friends now. Like, but I also said to her, I was like, as much as, like, I didn't like you at that point, if anyone messed with you, I would always have your back. Always.
That's
I was
cool.
like, because, we have to be with each other 24/7. We spend way more time with each other than we do our own families. So you become like a family. She's like my sister.
Yeah.
One of the sisters I don't like very much, but she was a sister, right? And I was just like, but I was like, I may not like you, but no one else is not allowed to is not allowed to hate you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was kind of like that. You know exactly what I mean, right? So,
yes.
Like, whatever happens, like, I would always have her back, even if I didn't like her. But I think she's a wonderful person now, and, like, we really, like, got over it.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah, we definitely needed it.
What do you think is one of the biggest lessons you learned from all of that you went through with her?
It's just, I just have to, like, don't be petty, obviously, but just give people chances, like, because obviously I'm like, I have a wall up.
Yeah.
I have a big wall up, and I'm still trying to bring it down a little bit. So it's more just to let people in more. Like, she really wanted to be my friend, and I felt bad because I felt like I was pushed her away. And, like, I'm trying not to be as defensive all the time. It's just, I just can't deal with any drama. Like, I can't deal with it. I've been in the internet enough with drama, like, I can already deal with so much drama in my life.
Right. Which I want to talk about this because it surprised the hell out of me. And I would love to get the take. Well, something that recently came out, which I was very, very surprised. A post that Alberto Del Rio made. And he commented on a fan that said something about his new girlfriend. I guess that's his girlfriend. We don't know. It's a woman in a picture. And saying, what a stupid thing to say. The fan saying that she was prettier than you. Why people are comparing always like that, I don't get it. But that's his opinion, whatever. Yeah. But then for Alberto to reply and come back and say all these things about, I mean, I don't necessarily want to repeat everything, but...
Yeah, no, the internet saw it. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
And you know what? I chose not to reply to it at that second. It hurt my feelings, but I didn't want him to know that it hurt my feelings at that point. But it wasn't like hurt my feelings as in like, oh, I can't believe you're saying that about me. It's like, you're making fun of someone that had mental health issues.
Yeah.
Like, who does that?
Well,
like, I don't care. Like, she could be beautiful. I'm glad that he's moved on and found someone. Like, I love that. I want his family to be happy. I just wanted him to leave me alone.
Yeah.
So I thought over a year of us not being together, I never expected him to bring me up again. So I was just like, I'm not even going to respond to that right now. I wish him the best of luck. Don't make fun of someone who has mental health issues, because he knew at that point too how depressed and how like I was on the bottom and how I wanted to kill myself and how, like he knew all that stuff. So to throw it out there like that is pretty mean. You know what I mean? Like, it's uncalled for. That's unnecessary. And
that's what I thought.
Like, am I being bullied right now? Yeah. I was like, what's going on here? And like, everyone was texting me, like, Naya, bless her heart. She was just like, what? And my bosses, and I was just like, I see it and it's fine. Everyone wanted to check up on me, like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. I just don't know why this is still a thing. Like, I don't understand why he's still talking about it,
Right.
That's what I didn't understand.
Well, it was...
Don't make fun of someone with mental health issues.
It was confusing because, in your last episode, you talked about how you guys ended amicably. He talked nicely about you.
Right.
You talked nicely about him. I remember you even specifically said, I hope he finds somebody that makes him very happy. So you wished him nothing but success.
Right.
And then he talked about how he felt. This is obviously before he knew that you weren't going to be wrestling, but he felt like you were going to be the biggest superstar, female superstar there, all this stuff. So for this to come almost a year later, it didn't make sense to me either. And when I read it and I saw like everything you put on there and then bringing your brother into it, I was like, what the hell? What the hell?
And I told my family straight away. I was like, don't reply to him. He's like, it's not even worth it. You know what I mean? Because right now I'm at a stage of life where I've been the happiest I've ever been.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to let someone like him try and bring me down. I get it. He's probably like, maybe he's not as successful as he wanted to be. I don't know. I don't know.
Right. Well, that's what I started thinking.
I don't have time for that, though.
No.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if it's jealousy. Like, I don't have time for that kind of stuff. It's immature. He's 41 years old.
Right.
You don't talk like that about a woman, first of all. You never talk like that about a woman. No. Especially on the internet for everyone to see, especially when you're in the public eye. Just keep your mouth shut. You don't like me? That's fine. Like, we haven't had any contact for over a year. Like, it baffled me. I was just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what? Just leave me alone. It was kind of like laughable in the end. I was just like, come on, dude. Like, you look sad.
Well, that's the
thing.
What I mean? He looked bad because everybody came to your end of things. Like, I don't know if you saw everything.
I could believe it.
Wow. The love again, the support again. And it's because it's been out there. And I don't know if you ever heard your episode when you were here, but you plainly talked about what the leak of that sex tape did to you, what all that drugs did to you, what the hitting rock bottom, how you did end up in the hospital in England, how you did want to commit suicide. And it was that one girl that actually helped you with that message for sure. Right. And how you were able to be saved and then turn around and be such an inspiration for so many people that have hit rock bottom or might be hitting rock bottom, and they can remember your story and go, no, I do not need to commit suicide. I can get through it because Paige got through it. And I'm telling you, to me, I have to say I was so livid on your behalf because I couldn't believe that got put out there, especially how open and honest you were with everything that you shared. And then for that to get thrown into your face, I was really disappointed, very disappointed in him.
A lot of people were. I'm just like, listen, like I could say so much and I decided to keep my mouth shut. you know?
Yeah.
Because I don't want drama. I want him to be happy, just be happy and go do your own thing. I moved on, you move on. You know, like, don't dwell on the past like that. And don't make fun of it. Like, you're so right, though. It's just like, it's disgusting. It's so disgusting.
Yeah.
You should never do that to a person, especially someone that you wanted to marry at one point. You know what I mean? So it blows my mind. But at the same time, I'm like, hey, do whatever the hell you want. I'm not going to respond to you. I couldn't care less. I'm increasingly getting my success back and like trying to like build an image where people can be related to me and trying to help a lot of women. Like on one of the episodes, I told you this, I went to a women's shelter for domestic abuse, drug abuse, and mental abuse, like any kind of abuse you can think of. And I just wanted to help.
Nice.
So I'm just like, I'm too wrapped up in helping people rather than responding to some 40-year-old dude.
Good.
He wants to just make fun of the fact I went into a mental institution.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
No.
Like, come on. Like,
well, that's what I said.
We've got bigger fish to fry.
Exactly. You're handling it beautifully.
Yeah.
But I did want to bring it up
you.
because I think that this helps other people who find themselves in the same situation. Don't get sucked back in. Just don't get sucked back in because you easily could have gotten sucked back in. So,
absolutely. I could have just lost it on the internet, but I didn't. I was like, whatever, dude. Whatever. He's been immature. Who cares? Whatever, you know?
Exactly. Kudos to you. Kudos to you.
I just laugh instead. Be like, hey, I'm happy. That's the best kind of revenge that you can give someone.
Exactly. Okay, so let's talk about something that even happier. All right, your movie got pushed back, but it is coming. Your movie is coming. I'm so excited. Fighting with My Family. We talked about it last time.
Yeah.
And if you guys haven't heard about it, The Rock is making this movie, or he made it. You saw it. Were you disappointed that it got moved back to, I think it's next March?
No, actually, because like they said that that's the best spot to be in. You know, it's like near the awards. Like everyone's like Christmas time. There's a lot of competition too, and you just want to be in a space where there's no competitions and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just think it's great, and I think it gives me more time to do media stuff and like. It just again mentally like get ready for what's about to come because I'm so excited for people to see the movie. It's huge. It's like not just a small indie movie anymore, which still blows my mind. It's like it's going to be worldwide distribution, like in all movie theaters. Like it's insane.
Wow,
it's insane.
Well, you know what?
Like I get goosebumps just like that.
I want to know something. Did they get to do the movie, talk about the fact that you can't wrestle anymore? Did any of that get put into the movie?
No, it only goes up until I become Divas champion for the first time.
Wow. So what you're saying is there'll be a sequel for sure. Because, oh my God.
I was like, they'll give you one hell of a sequel. I tell you that. Damn, if they don't invest now, I'll invest in my own sequel. I was like, people need to know. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, the things that have happened to you since you got the championship that's another whole entire movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been like I've lived about 9 lives. I'm a cat. I've had 9 lives already. It's insane.
Well,
I can have a movie for every life I've lived.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. I look forward to telling my story. Yeah.
I know. So just real quick, you did talk about the wall and how you still have that wall. All right. So what do we got to do to break that wall down? Because what I don't want you to do is take it that people that have chipped away at you are building that wall. Because the next person who comes, who could be your everything, is going to have such a hard time to get through that. And sometimes it's not fair. It's not fair for the next person to have to work that hard.
Right. That's why I feel like I just need to, I need to work on myself, you know? Like I go to 3 different therapists, but they all do different things.
Really?
Right. So one is just someone I can talk to. One is, I don't know how to pronounce it, but a cranial sacral therapist.
What is that?
Where she literally, I lay on a bed and I'm in complete silence and I just close my eyes and she just literally like holds like my temples and around my head and just literally just like feels around my body. Like the most relaxing thing I've ever done in my life, but like, it really does help. Like I come out of there and I feel happy. It's so strange.
I love that.
So really strange. And then I have another one who's out in Denver he went to previously when I first started doing therapy in the first place. But it's just because she's like a comfort thing. Actually, technically I have 4. I love to talk to people. I'm sorry. It sounds crazy, but I have 4 because Bob, there's this guy called Bob too, who is for drugs and alcohol. So I like to talk to him about like how good that I'm doing and stuff like that. So I like to keep up with him too. So everyone has like a different task to do, but it's really helping me. Like I feel a lot better. I do feel a lot better.
Well, you know,
honestly, like the walls are slowly definitely coming down.
Good. And that's a great thing that you're taking yourself on and you're saying, you know what, this is going to require some help. We all need help for different things, right? We all do. There's nothing wrong with doing what you're doing. I think it's beautiful. Exactly.
And WWE helped me with all that too. They were just like, we'll set you up with Bob, we'll do this, we'll do that. They just want me to be happy and healthy and, you know, so it definitely helps. Like, I'm just like, wow, thank you. And it really makes a difference when you have that backup, you know, when you have that foundation of just like friendship and family behind you, like at your workplace. Like, how amazing is that?
Yeah. Well, you know,
I'm like, I'm going to sound like a crazy person.
No, not at all. I was just going to say, do you know how many really, really successful people, CEOs, all these kind of people, even myself, I have mentors, I have therapists, I have this, I have that. Why? Because we don't have a playbook on how to live this life. Okay. I say that all the time. And things happen to us that sometimes we don't know how to handle it. We don't know how to not put the wall up to the next person because maybe we've been hurt 3 or 4 times. And so it is harder and you start not trusting. Yeah. And it's easy to say, hey, you got to start trusting. But how do you start trusting again? So somebody that's their specialty will help you. And a lot of that stuff is, you find out too, it's rooted. It's behaviors. I still do behaviors that I told this to my husband the other day. I was doing something that it's because my dad ingrained it to me. God bless his soul. He thought he was doing the best for me, but he ingrained it. For example, he always ingrained money is security, money is security, money is security. So for me, sometimes if I don't see that consistent income or something is coming in or whatever, and we're both self-employed, I start freaking out. And he's like, Lil, where's your trust? You know, where's this? And I go, man, I'm so sorry. It is programmed in me so heavily that I just start freaking out, you know, but I'm working on that. So that's what you got to do is you got to get mentors, you got to get therapists, you got to get all of that to chip all of that away, reprogram your thinking. And that's how you continue to build your success.
I actually do have like 2 really good friends, and it's like Bobby Shabinsky and Ronnie Radke, like both of them, like have just helped me, like just be a better person, you know, like they helped with because I had the crazy anxiety, and just helped me through it, and like just anything I need, they're always at the end of the phone. And sometimes they're better than therapists, just having like your best friends be like, hey, listen up, you know what I mean? And it just helped me like break down that rule, which is really nice. But you know, it's always going to kind of be there. But yeah, like you said, you just have to like it takes some time, but I'll definitely get there. Yeah, I'll work on it.
No, that's awesome.
Yes.
Well, I got to tell you, girl, you are just a light. You're a light in this world. You are. Your energy.
So you always make me feel like so relieved after talking to you on the phone. I was like, okay, now I don't have to speak to my 4 therapists today. This is good. I spoke to Lilian.
Thanks. Oh, that's the best compliment ever. Thank you. God. Well, you seriously, but you own that.
Yeah, I don't have to speak to my full therapist today. It's funny.
It is funny.
Oh, man.
You know what? You're going to continue to succeed in so many ways. I can't wait. Like just this continued journey that you're on. All those. Give me some tips on how to memorize all these lines and stuff. Here I am in Hollywood, so I'm trying.
I don't even know. I don't even know how to do that. I honestly don't even know. I don't even remember the lines. I just make up as I go along. Yeah.
Well, girl, I am excited for everything that's coming your way. I am excited that you're still going to be involved in one way or another at Evolution, and you will be there supporting all the women. And like you said, you are a big part also on this happening. And it's really incredible. And the best of luck with your line. I love wearing your stuff, and I can't wait to wear your makeup.
Thanks, babe. Thanks, babe. I'll send you a bunch of stuff.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. Good. All right. Thanks, babe. Thank you so much. I really do enjoy doing this. So
thank you.
And thanks for letting me, speak out about some stuff. You know what I mean?
Of course. Anytime.
Yeah.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Where do we find you on social media before we let you go?
Okay. So on Instagram and on Twitter, no Facebook, it's Real Paige WWE. So make sure you give me a little follow, send me a message. I don't know, do whatever you want. But make sure you go follow the Soraya store as well. Like there's the website and also the Instagram. No Twitter or Facebook for that either.
Okay. So, awesome. Thank you so much, honey.
Yeah. Perfect.
Chasing Glory with Lilian Garcia.
What a badass chick. Seriously. There you go. That is someone who can handle having gone with what she has gone through and still be able to own it and put her head up high, get through what she has gotten through. And I love the fact that she's still getting support, that she's still out there. Like she said, she's got 4 therapists. Who cares? People, we need help in some way or another. Like this life is difficult at times. And we're not given the tools when we're born on how to handle it. So I think it's great that she's got support, that she's dealing and making sure that she's in line with, her drugs or alcohol and all of that so she doesn't go down that road again and how to handle everything that she's been through in her life. So kudos to you, girl. Like I said it before, I love you dearly. You're such a precious light and a joy to be around. And every time I see you, it's just so awesome to get a hug from you, Paige. So yeah, guys, spread the word about this interview because everyone I feel needs to hear this. There's a lot of great stuff in here. So thank you. All right. At Chasing Glory Podcast, keep following that on Instagram and also me on Twitter and Facebook at Lilian Garcia. Make sure that you rate the show. Make sure that you write a review, please. Every Saturday at Chasing Glory Podcast, we post the reviews up there. So we'll pick some and hopefully your review will go up there. And I love you guys. I really do. I always say it, but I mean it. You mean the world to me. So it's great to have all of us together and it's a lot of exciting things coming our way, right? So in the meantime, though, go out there and live with much peace, love, and passion. And remember to always be yourself and trust that it's enough. Bye, guys.
Thanks for joining us here on Chasing Glory from executive producer Lilian Garcia. Don't forget to share this episode with your friends and be sure to subscribe at Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your favorite shows.